के संघर्ष के बाद, स्ट्रगल के बाद
जी सर,
आखिरकार आपके अच्छे दिन आ गए, भले किसी के आए ना आए हो। बहुत अच्छी अच्छी फिल्में कर रहे हैं, बहुत बड़ी बड़ी फिल्में कर रहे हैं आप। और अभी हाल ही में आपने भूल भुलैया 2 भी साइन किया और सोशल मीडिया पे सब जगह ये चर्चा हो रही है कि अक्षय कुमार को रिप्लेस कर दिया है। अक्षय कुमार और आपका नाम बहुत लिया जा रहा है। क्या कुछ इस फिल्म के बारे में बताना चाहेंगे और क्या कुछ भूल भुलैया 2 के बारे में बताना चाहेंगे?
सर अगेन भूल भुलैया मेरे को बहुत पसंद एक फिल्म है, वो जो लोगों को भी बहुत पसंद है, ऑडियंस ने बहुत तारीफ की थी। इट्स वन ऑफ द मोस्ट लव्ड साइकोलॉजिकल थ्रिलर हॉरर कॉमेडी। उस स्पेस में एक वन ऑफ इट्स काइंड थी जिसका सीक्वल बन रहा है। अक्षय सर का मैं बहुत बड़ा फ़ैन हूँ। मतलब ये सबको भी पता है, आप सबको पता है। मैं हमेशा से ये कहता आया हूँ कि मैं उनकी फिल्मों का, उनकी एक्टिंग का हमेशा से मतलब मैं दीवाना रहा हूँ। तो उनको तो मतलब वो हमारी कंट्री के सबसे बड़े सुपरस्टार हैं। ये हंसी की बात होगी कि कोई भी उनको रिप्लेस कर दे, वैसी वाली बात आ जाए तो। बट अदरवाइज आई एम रियली ग्लैड कि भूल भुलैया 2 इज़ हैपनिंग एंड आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू द शूट ऑफ द फिल्म।
कार्तिक, एक और छोटा सा सवाल, आप सारा के साथ भी काम कर रहे हैं, अनन्या के साथ भी काम कर रहे हैं। कभी आपका नाम सारा के साथ जोड़ा जाता है, कभी अनन्या के साथ जोड़ा जाता है। और अभी हाल ही में एक अखबार में एक खबर आई थी कि सारा और आपका ब्रेकअप हो चुका है वगैरह वगैरह। तो क्या कुछ बताना चाहेंगे, एक्चुअली क्या चल रहा है? सब लोग गेसिंग गेम खेल रहे हैं।
हाँ, मैंने भी पढ़ा। और क्या पढ़ा? हाँ मैं भी यही, मतलब मैं भी यार यही पढ़ रहा हूँ, लेकिन उसके अलावा और क्या अभी क्या चल रहा है
आप बताओ।
अरे नहीं, मेरे को तो आप ही से पता चल रहा है। मैं
हॉर्सेस माउथ हम जानना चाहते हैं। हॉर्सेस माउथ
उसका मतलब क्या होता है?
घोड़े के मुंह से।
घोड़े के मुंह से नहीं सर, मैं अभी आपको बता रहा हूँ ना कि जिस तरीके से ये सर मैं क्या बताऊँ, अभी अनन्या की बात हो गई, या ये जैसे आपने बोला मैंने बच्चन सर के साथ ऐड किया अभी। हाँ, मतलब उसके बारे में कोई पूछता ही नहीं है। मैंने इंस्टाग्राम में डाला कि बकेट लिस्ट में मेरा मतलब उनके साथ काम करने का मौका मिला। एक सवाल नहीं आया उसके बारे में कभी। मैं 2 रोटियां तोड़ ली अनन्या के साथ, सब लोगों ने वो पूछ लिया। आई थिंक उससे ज्यादा पूछना चाहिए, इनसे पूछना चाहिए कि क्यों, क्या हुआ, तो उससे ज्यादा समझ आएगा। सो बट हाँ बोलिए।
हम ऐसा माने कि ये रूमर्स है सारा, जो कुछ छप रहा है, जो कुछ बोला जा रहा है सारा। और
देखिए, जो रियल बात है वो है फिल्म फेयर कवर पे मैं हूँ आज।
बाकी
और
सब
ये बहुत खुशी की बात है सर।
बाकी सब मोह माया है।
बाकी सब मतलब सर मतलब माइक तो है मेरे पास। नहीं, लेकिन सीरियसली मतलब जिस दिन मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ ना कि आज फिल्म फेयर पे हूँ एंड आई एम रियली ग्लैड कि मैं फिल्म फेयर के साथ बैठा हूँ, मतलब सर के साथ बैठा हूँ एंड सर एंड या आई मीन दैट्स अबाउट इट। मैं बोल दिया सर, कितना जवाब तो दिया अभी, कुछ
निकल के नहीं आया। लेकिन
फिल्म फेयर की सबसे खास बात आपको कौन सी पसंद आती है?
जैसा कि मैंने पहले बोला कि फिल्म फेयर की सबसे खास बात यह है कि वो एक प्रेस्टीज वाली बात होती है। एक प्रेस्टीजियस नेम है, ब्रांड है, जिसके साथ आप हमेशा जब भी फिल्म फेयर सोचते हो तो एक प्राइड वाली फीलिंग आती है। और you want to be a part of it, you want to be associated with it, and so that's what the first thing that comes to your mind or my mind when you attach film fair and you think of film fair. दूसरी बात, फिल्म फेयर के साथ सबसे ज़्यादा मतलब हमेशा से मैं जब इंडस्ट्री में नहीं आया था तो ऑफ कोर्स आप देखते हो कि फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड्स, फिल्म फेयर का कवर शूट, फिल्म फेयर हु इज़ ऑन द कवर एंड ये सब आप देखते थे। हमेशा आप बाहर की चीज़ें देखते थे। जब मैं इंडस्ट्री में आया तो मैंने रियलाइज़ किया कि ये सारे जो ये इतना बड़ा जो ब्रांड है ये किससे चलता है। और ये आपको जब समझ आता है कि ये लोगों की वजह से चलता है, और उनमें से सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट इंसान है ये जो मेरे साथ बैठे हैं। मतलब मैं जब से यहाँ पे आया हूँ तब से मैं मानता हूँ कि ही इज सिनोनिम टू फिल्म फेयर। आई मीन जितेश सर इज समवन जो जिनके बिना मैं फिल्म फेयर सोच भी नहीं पाता, एंड ही हैज बीन समवन हु हैज बीन लीडिंग फिल्म फेयर लाइक नो वन एल्स, एंड यू कैन नॉट इवन थिंक ऑफ फिल्म फेयर विदाउट हिम। तो वो एक मैं जेन्युइनली वो बात बोलना चाह रहा था. एंड ही इज ऑलवेज, आई नॉट इवन विथ मी, ही इज ऑलवेज बीन सपोर्टिव विथ एवरीवन that I've noticed with him. So I'm really glad that industry में इनके तरह and इनकी टीम की, especially everyone from his team, जिस तरीके से इनकी टीम भी हम सबके साथ रहती है, और be it from those struggling days to these struggling days, अभी तक सब वैसे के वैसे हैं. तो ये सारी चीज़ें आपके दिमाग में आती है, and you really feel happy when you think of Filmfare.
So Pati Patni or wo is a remake of a Sanjeev Kumar classic, and did it sort of scare you to do a film that Sanjeev sir had you know?
It did scare me, sir. जब फर्स्ट टाइम मैंने सुना था कि ये फिल्म पति पत्नी और वो का रीमेक कर रहे हैं, बट उसके बाद पता चला कि ये पूरी फिल्म ही नहीं लिखी हुई है, और सब कुछ, सब कैरेक्टर से लेकर हर स्टोरी तक एक नयापन है उसमें. द ओनली थिंग विच इज़ देयर इज़ द टाइटल एंड द बेसिक कॉन्टेक्स्ट जो फिल्म का, जो टाइटल में भी समझ आ रहा है. उसके अलावा ये बहुत ही नई फिल्म है. एंड बेसिकली वंस यू सी द ट्रेलर, ऑफ कोर्स यू विल रियलाइज कि क्या चीज़ है, क्या नहीं है. बट आई वॉज एक्साइटेड टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ इट. आई वॉज रियली हैप्पी. एंड अगेन संजीव सर इज़ मतलब ही इज समन जो हमेशा से लेजेंडरी रहे हैं. एंड अगेन दोज आर बिग शूज टू फिल. तो वो तो कभी हो ही नहीं
सकता.
रीमिक्सिंग
ठंडे ठंडे पानी से.
अरे
tone of Delhi, and he's got that, you know, the flavor, just because I was a Bombay girl. And then I met him at the office. He was there for some work, and we've crossed paths several times in our careers. But it was only till Bhool Bhulaiyaa that we actually worked together, got to know each other. And I feel maybe subconsciously there is an understanding, because we've seen a similar journey. Not exactly, but there have been those highs and lows that we've both, you know, seen individually. Not had that success right in the beginning, then kind of like really worked your way. Then getting recognition, figuring out what to do with it. There's so much, you know, you each step of the way you learn so much. Now I think for us to be doing a film at this stage in our careers, where, and like you said, like Bhool Bhulaiyaa, just sitting here and having this conversation is making me reflect on the fact that it is very sweet, I guess, because what a legacy to take forward, what a franchise to be a part of. It also sounds like a lot of pressure right now. Help me, it's not that I'm at a loss of words now.
It's surreal. It's surreal to be a part of a franchise that's so big, and names that were attached to the film were really big and have always been this big. We'll be fooling ourselves if we continue saying कि अरे comparison में, you know, I've been saying this enough कि you can't compare us.
Of course,
and
of course.
It's not a right thing to do, because they are too big a shoe to fill, or you know, you just can't. So that's the reason I think when we started the journey with Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 also, we took it as a new film, and of course it's a new film, it's an original idea, it's a sequel to the world of Bhool Bhulaiyaa, but primarily what we are doing, what we are playing, they are all new characters with elements of nostalgia of Bhool Bhulaiyaa. So I think it feels really nice. It feels like when I saw the film Bhool Bhulaiyaa, when I'd seen it, I never thought that I would be offered a part in Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2, and now we are actually doing this interview about Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2, and yeah, hopefully कुछ
20th में only.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
अच्छा ही होगा.
Yeah, अच्छा ही होगा.
You know, but comedy is very hard to do.
Yeah, it's
And
the
I don't
toughest
think
thing to do.
it's the toughest thing to do, right?
Yeah.
And of course, since this is a new characters in the same old world, but you don't have the burden of that continuity, that, you know, you have to kind of take something from there, but then you have to invent your own, right? How did you find the sur for the comedy?
I feel like
He's just lobbing it all to you. He's outsourcing this one. He's tired. He's like, आप बोलो.
इसमें firstly comedy भर के है, because this one has got. He doesn't need any, sir. He's waiting for someone to ask him to like just start the scene so that he can do what he does best. But I truly feel that a lot of it is in just the spontaneity of the moment, and it was also very well written. I think Anees sir's, I mean, that's his forte. He's great when it comes to this genre. He's great when it comes to comedy. Here it's also a lot of situational comedy, because when you are in a space of horror, and when things aren't going as expected, and then suddenly something happens and you break into a comic moment, and it also seems like a moment that or like comedy is a great way to kind of escape certain emotions that you're going through. So I feel it's very interestingly used in the film. And it's a lot to do with also the characters, when you have Rajpal sir playing Chota Pandit, and from the original, that's again bringing a nostalgic element into the film. And you have Sanjay Mishra, and you have a cast that has such interesting characters. I think it's like a package, if I may say that. It just makes the scene exciting. I think it has a lot to do with situation, with characters, with characterization. And then Sir just making us be true to that moment. Like, he would always say, just play it seriously. Never try to be funny or think.
Never laugh at your own jokes.
Never laugh at your own jokes.
He said you have a ajeeb si badmashi.
Who said?
Anees
sir said. ये अजीब बात किसने की?
ये अजीब बात उन्होंने की. So what does that mean?
He finds me naughty. He finds that कुछ ना कुछ इसके दिमाग में चलता रहता है, kind of a situation with me. जब भी वो मुझे मिलते हैं कि क्या चल रहा है आपके दिमाग में. So that is his first question.
Your खुराफाती.
ना खुराफाती, थोड़ा सा है, कुछ सोचता रहेगा, कुछ यहाँ पे है लेकिन कुछ और चीज के बारे में सोच रहा होगा. So that kind of a character वो उनके दिमाग में है मुझे लेके, शायद मैं हूँ भी. I don't know. But so that is what it is. But he likes that ajeeb.
Yeah,
I know that.
He said it with affection.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, he likes it.
Yeah.
He likes it.
Okay, what do you, when you guys are looking at someone like Tabu, right, who's just such a veteran and an actor who has such ease in front of the camera that you don't see the strings working, right? You never see her
Not at all.
straining.
Yeah.
What do you take away from that? Like, are there practical lessons you learn?
I think both personally and professionally.
Yeah.
When you watch her on perform, firstly, she's so honest in a scene that sometimes it really helps as co-actors. You just, when the person in front of you is giving so much, and you just connect, your eyes just meet, and it's just, you're there, 100% there. And then the ability to switch off and be so chilled out the minute the camera is not rolling, chat with Anees about stories of, the older days and how things used to be, and, common factors and things they would share. And really, we'd be sitting there like, why don't we have so many stories? I mean, when you sit with veterans, it's so interesting to hear how they would make films. They would have so many of these stories. And it's just, they're just so easy on set, and that also shows in front of the camera. I don't think they're not so particular about, I don't know, I feel like there's just a very inherent sense of ease.
Yeah.
Whether it's in front of the camera, whether it's, the character they're playing, whether it's comedy, whether it's a serious scene. I've never seen her, like you said, I've never seen everything else working. She's just easy. You don't know. I'm sure there is so much, and it's all there, but it's like, she's like that swan. You don't know what's below the water, but she's just beautiful as, when she watches.
I want to elaborate on this also, that I've had scenes where there's a lot to do. It's exactly what Kiara is saying almost. Ki you don't know what she's up to, and I've learned that ability. I've tried to. कि when she's performing, I almost felt कि अच्छा यार कुछ नहीं किया यार इन्होंने तो इसमें बहुत कुछ कर. But when you see it on monitor, you feel those nuances, those small things, and it's with such ease that you feel like you've really come to an acting school or a course. You're watching someone really perform over there, without making, कि एक हवा नहीं बनाती उस बात का कि oh what a performance.
Correct. I'm acting.
And
I'm
she's
acting.
done
It's not there.
Yeah.
It's always like कि it's with ease. It's with that calmness, and she's off screen also. She's that calm person who's just chilling with you, and she's again वो किस्से बता रही हैं, कुछ कहानियाँ बता रही हैं, वो सारी बातें हो रही हैं. And on screen also she's that chilled out. कि अनीस सर बोल रहे हैं कि यहाँ आप खड़े हो जाइए. अच्छा सर मैं यहाँ खड़ी हो जाऊँ. हाँ ठीक है मैं यहाँ खड़ी हो जाऊँ. कैसे बोलना है वो डायलॉग? He'll tell her also, and she will reciprocate, and she'll do the exact same thing. But there will be a nuance which will be like, out of this world, and you would feel ki what an actor.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut him off in the middle, but I was saying she's done. I think some of the most difficult scenes performed in this film have been by Tabu ma'am.
Yeah,
and to
but with
see her
ease.
do it, like, yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe she's prepping in her van. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. Like,
कुछ तो करती,
what's
कुछ तो
up?
होगा.
Shit's going down.
ऐसे नहीं हो सकता यार. Something's going
Like,
down
blows
there.
away like this. So something is,
Something's fishy.
No, we have to get this.
Figure it out. Yeah. You know, this is of course in a sense a spiritual sequel, right? I think that that's what these
That's
films
nice.
are called, right?
Yeah.
Like it's in spirit the same type of thing. Your last film Dhamaka was a remake of a Korean film. Your biggest hit Kabir Singh has also been a remake. Do you get a sense as actors, does that give you any sense of security in terms of box office, or like why is there so much of this repetition?
See, I'd be lying if I said no, because I feel that does give you a sense of, it works both ways. For example, when the trailer of Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 came, before it came out, we were prepared that there would be a section of the audience that would naturally compare it with the first, with a very, like, they'd be with a magnifying glass, like, isne kya kiya hai, and all of that. So we were prepared for that. But then we also had that little, you have that feeling that because it's a franchise of such a cult film, you know that the audience is looking for what have they done.
Absolutely.
So
There's a
it's got its
built-in
pros and cons
thing.
for
Yeah.
sure. It's got its pros and cons for sure. But then at the end of the day, like, I'll just speak on this film. The others became a success. All of that is on its own. But here, I feel like it's a franchise, and definitely Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2, it's got weightage. But the story, and I think even from the trailer, as you can see, it's a different take on the spooky world. It's a fresh story. It's a new story. So now how the film does will be on the film. I think it's every asset now that comes is what people will see, what this film has to offer. Eventually, they'll look at it as a fresh film, you know. I think only that trailer launch day gave us a sense of, is it going to be, the nervous energy. But now you know you're looking at the world as a new film as you go ahead, and then you'll decide, okay, but do I want to see this film or not? So we'll know now.
I feel it adds on. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's a sequel to a big franchise, big film, it does add on. But then again, वो film की capability और film के ऊपर होता है कि क्या वो film चलेगी. There are so
But
many
does
sequels.
Kartik, does it give you comfort as an actor when you're choosing?
There have been a lot of sequels which have come my way, and I've said no. So it's not just that I'm just, say, so it has to have that connect with the. As an actor also, I should also feel कि यार ये story में दम है.
Right.
While performing also and while saying yes to it.
You're also, of course, doing Allah Vaikunta Purubalo.
Yeah, उधर ही आ रहा था.
I can pronounce it.
Allah Vaikunta Puramallu.
Correct. Puramallu. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I messed up the end.
Yeah. I hope I haven't messed up.
Pata chale, I was
पता
right.
चले you were right.
नहीं तो Kartik, again, though that's a very, very famous, much loved character.
Yeah,
How do you make that your own then?
I don't know. I just don't take that pressure.
You're not thinking about it.
I am not thinking about. Should I do something like exactly like how it was done over there, or those questions don't bother me because Rohit Dhawan, he has a really I loved working with him, and I've enjoyed every bit of shooting Shehzada with him. He's like my brother, and the way he's given his all to this film, I don't think so there would be any other director who would be able to do justice to this film as Rohit has, and he has added his own ideas, his own elements, and we've really, I think when the film comes out, Shehzada will have its own identity. Not to take away from what Allah has made.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful movie, and Allu Arjun, he outperformed, and he really performed so well in the film. We are all his fans. But when it comes to Shehzada, of course, Rohit has an idea regarding the film. There are certain areas he wants to do something different, maybe, and so he's taken on the idea, but he's given his
Its own spin.
to it. So which I really like about that film. So there's no added pressure. It's a new film again for us,
Right.
and we are enjoying it.
Yeah, I guess that's the way to approach it, right?
Yeah,
You can't take on that pressure in any case.
100%.
You know, I want to talk a little bit about just the construction of sort of modern day stardom. right? Which is what both of you are. Now, I was told a couple of days ago that actually actors are now paying paps to follow them around, to post their pictures. Social media is such a big thing, and both of you have like millions and millions of followers. How much of this do you work at, consciously work at, because it is a part of what you do now?
To be very honest, I don't think I put so much thought into it. I think my management and my PR would put better thought into it than me. But I can't take on that pressure in life. I feel I don't know, I think to each his own, but personally I feel I've always been let your work speak. And I feel like I think there's enough on our plate with the work that we're doing that I prefer it when it's genuine. So I feel even if I'm talking to my fans on Instagram or however I do keep in touch with them, I like that it's genuine. I like that they feel at ease. That I mean, like till date, I handle my own accounts. I don't have a team handling. Everything's organic. I make a lot of blunders. I change captions in the wrong way, and then I'll get digital calls from TV, film post saying, "But don't you have a team doing it?" And they're like, "No, she doesn't give us the password. Only she knows it." But it works for me. I think so far it's not felt like there's a pressure to change that, and it's not felt like a pressure on me while I've been, just keeping it as real as I could and as what's comfortable for me.
I love social media. I enjoy Instagram and Instagram family that I have. I enjoy interacting with them. So same. I can never give my social media account to anyone. It has to be me, and that's the reason. I mean, be it from small things to a photograph to a caption, it's all me, and it's all my personality which is there over there.
Yeah.
And that's what I think matters to a lot of fans also, that they have उनको एक मौका मिल जाता है शायद से मेरे से interact करने का, and subsequently with all the stars as well. So I think that is a special connect that I feel with my fans through digital world, and I enjoy that again. And yeah, I mean with pap culture, I think they अभी जब भी वो photos खींच रहे हैं नहीं खींच रहे हैं, it's part and parcel of your job, and I think I'm okay with it. Sometimes you do feel कि यार यहाँ पे photo नहीं होती तो यार
I found some secret ways to exit the airport finally.
ये सब ढूंढना पड़ता है, ये सब चीजें.
Every day sometimes you want to just be chill.
Sometimes you don't want to get tapped. I mean, hats off to their job, hats off to what they are doing.
Oh, of course. They're working.
They